It's episode 91 of Delivering Marketing Joy. This time we talk with Jessica Hutwelker about switching sides on the industry and embracing challenges. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman. I'm very excited to have a return guest this time, Jessica Hutwelker, who has made some changes over the last year. She's the regional sales manager of the Magnet Group, and I am really excited for you to be here, Jessica. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kirby.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to digging into a few of these questions here with you. So I want to start with the one I know you get a lot. So I apologize in advance, but it's one that I actually wanted to ask you too. So you, for those who don't know, in our industry, there's kind of two sides. You've got your distributor side who sell to the customer, and you've got your supplier side that sell to the distributor. You've switched sides, you've switched teams. So what's it like? What's it like to switch sides on this in this business?
Yeah, you're right. I do get asked that probably every presentation that I'm at. People are dying to know what it's like to be on the dark side and, to have switched over. And it's awesome. I love it. I love both sides. I love this industry so much. And, it started out as something I fell into, and it's become my career. And I'm so proud and humbled by the experiences and people I've met. So I do enjoy the supplier side. The distributor side was great. And I miss being in an office and seeing my friends and building the relationships with clients. But now I get to do what I love every day. I get to know it's never a cold call. I'm going in. People know who I am. They know about our company. And I get to build those relationships. I get to be an advocate and a resource and to be of help to them. And for me, my job is to help them make money, is to make sure that they're successful, they're meeting their strategic goals and plans, making sure they have a great review with their bosses. That's my job. And partnership has always been cornerstone for me and so important over the years is developing those partnerships. And so now I get to do it on the supplier side. And I believe I have the best inside sales team. I have more help than I've ever had. And the company, the Magnet Group, is phenomenal. I'm so thankful and lucky and blessed that we have great products and great people, great service, and I get to represent that. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's interesting, the things you say. I mean, I always feel like, great products, great service, those sort of things, those are things that are expected and important. But it sounds like you're telling me that regardless of which side of the business you're in, which kind of business you're in, relationships still matter a ton.
Absolutely. And, when you think about how many times have people called you and called in that big favor, and really needed your help for something. And if you don't have that relationship, people aren't going to be willing to jump through the hoops for you. They're going to be like, well, I'll see what I can do. Whereas the people that you've built a relationship with and you care about them and they know that and you want to be their go-to. I want to be that go-to because I know that I care and I know that if I can make it happen, I will. So it's just a different platform, a different audience, but it's still the same kind of level of care and integrity and service that I carried every day before then.
Yeah. And you mentioned the word advocate in your answer before. And it leads nicely into my next question because, you've been an advocate for sort of empowering women in our industry. Why do you take that on? Why is that important?
Well, I think that women are incredible. And I came off of the Women's Leadership Conference last week in Atlanta, and being surrounded by 160 other women just was such a great opportunity for me to remember the greatness that I am and the power that I am. And all of us have that. When a group of women come together, they're a force of nature. And I believe that we have the majority presence in this industry, if not very, very close if we aren't. And it's just so important that we remember that we have incredible flexibility, incredible creativity. We have the ability to chart our own destinies in this industry, whatever side we want to be on. If we want to start our own companies, if we want to take on different roles, it's all available to us, but we forget that sometimes. And it's really easy to get dragged down into the mire. And I love to remind people of their greatness. That is one of my favorite things to do, and to be an advocate and be a cheerleader and be a motivator and be an encourager. That is who I am. And anybody that has met me knows that I remind them of who they are and what they have to offer, and they can go ahead and create whatever they want. They have that in them. And we as women, I think we have a hard time oftentimes that we're in competition, not just with men, but within each other. And it's important to remember that we're all in this together, and to rise up and take those positions and stand into those tougher challenges, and accept the opportunities that come our way. I wouldn't be here if I just kind of did status quo and did day in and day out. I kept pushing, and I took the opportunities, and I surround myself by incredible people, and our industry is filled with that. And when I go to these conferences, these aren't just women. They're my moms, they're my sisters, they're my mentors, they're my friends, they're my soon-to-be friends. That we just have such a wonderful network and community that I think is unlike anything in any other industry. So I really love to reinforce that for people, and to go after it. Whatever it is that they want to go after, it is available to them, and they can make it happen.
Yeah, you certainly, you're right. You do remind people of the things that they can do. I know that about you, and you wouldn't be where you are without some embracing new challenges, right? And you talked about that the last time you were on. I was so impressed by that concept. I think you were doing like something outside of your comfort zone every month, if memory serves, right? And so I guess my final question for you is, have you been able to maintain that attitude? And if so, what are some challenges recently that you've taken on?
Yeah, it's actually every day is a challenge. So I'm in this new role. I'm in an uncharted territory for me.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I'm doing something new. Nothing is routine. And so the challenge for me is just daily practices. And that's been, this job has been fantastic because it's shown me all the areas of opportunity for growth that I have, like all of these things that, I thought I could do on my own. And it's like, no, that's just not the way. No, you can't be everything to everybody. And I am so blessed to be surrounded by a really strong leadership group at the Magnet Group, and then people outside of it, and that's a great thing too about being on the supplier side, is that we aren't really competitors. We are, but we aren't. And, people are very friendly, and they'll share the secrets and all that stuff. So I just feel so lucky that I have all the support, but also all a blank slate for me to chart my own destiny the way that I want to. So my challenge has been, how can I do the best that I can be, but also take care of myself and my relationships and my job. So it's a really, it's a different thing. Every day is a challenge. So I'm so grateful for, for the journey. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Cool. Well, congratulations, and I know that you're an inspiration for a lot of people. So I appreciate you taking the time to be here today. I give everybody 3 questions. You get to ask me one. Do you have one for me today?
Yes, I do, because I think about it actually quite often with you, Kirby. So since that you're in Promo Kitchen and you're very involved in that, you own your own business, you're handling that, you're also a phenomenal husband and father, and you do so many things, and you wrote and published your second book, which I have right here with me. And it blows my mind, because I think, how can I do my life and it's just me, and you do all these things and that. So tell me, how do you, and you write blogs and you're so consistent and everything. So just how do you do it? Like, what is a piece of advice that you can give for all of us? Because I think that we aspire to be able to do great things in all areas of our lives, and I think that you're one of the few people I've witnessed that have been able to pull it off. So what do you say?
Oh gosh! First of all, thanks. I really appreciate the kind words. That's humbling. So thank you. I get that question. As you know, like you get the question about supplier, distributor. I get that question a lot. Is how do you do it all in that way? And I always feel like, okay, if people are asking that question, I'm on the right track. But the things that I tell people is, I try to batch. We talked today about how many, I try to stack some interviews in a row. I try to do things and turn off the phones and try and knock out the things that are proactive. But it's funny, I think the secret that's not that big a secret is that I work a lot. I work a lot of hours at it, right? But I think, I think everybody's looking for the magic hack that, I just do this and I'll be able to do it. I mean, I start working at 6 o'clock in the morning. I tend to stop at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And this isn't like a martyr thing. I enjoy it, right? But in between those times, I try really hard to focus on the 20% of activities that make the 80% of difference. I think that's really where people get off track, is they spend 80% of the time on the 80% that doesn't make that big a difference. And so if I had one piece of advice for anybody, it's just really spend time on the things that impact, the things that, whether they drive revenue, whether they create whatever that is that's important for you or that person, spend more time on that. So I guess that's my answer on that.
I like it.
Cool. Well, Jess, thank you so much for being on the show once again. Keep it rolling. I'm excited for you, and we'll have to do it again sometime.
Love it. Thanks, Kirby.
Absolutely. Now that wraps up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, but wait! Can you do me a favor? Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. The way to do it's right over here. And hey, if you want to watch the last episode, check that out over here. Again, before you leave, subscribe!